is the bearer of the seed. I somehow allowed this four into my space through a crack of self-doubt, and before I knew it, I was in bed. I was going to bed and waking up, wallowing in endless flow of tears. I just couldn't stop, and everything happened so fast. I will unpack that a little bit. Expectations are a set of commitments, standards, and principles that have, over the years, defined your relationships with yourself and the world around you. I see a question there, but I'll come back to it.
Yeah,
they change through life, but you ultimately decide and control the frequency and quality of your expectations. When somehow along the way you fail to meet those expectations, either because you're remodeling your ways, upgrading, downsizing, or growing new teeth, or just toning a new set of muscles, external forces, namely people and energies in the stream of the exchange and value you feed through their expectation of you, starts questioning your ability to deliver. Wow. If that gets worse, you may begin to fall short of your expectations to yourself. And honestly, it could be because of anything, including fatigue, or maybe you're just bored and need a new challenge, or honestly, maybe you just need to slow down and breathe a little, whatever. What's likely to happen next is that you begin to question your self-worth, doubt yourself a little bit, and then panic sets in because the situation is now rocking your very core. Because you're now feeling like a failure, as if failure isn't just an opportunity to do the same thing more than once and have fun while doing it. I don't blame you if you don't feel this way about failure.
Wow.
Am I hitting a point? The point I'm making here is
powerful.
You're anxious. It's normal because you don't know what to do next. And you might be hard to figure it out by yourself. You need a good network. You need to reach out. You need to speak to people you trust. So that they can help you put things back into perspective. Because what's happening is that you're hitting a brick wall. And there's just a better view from the top. So you might need to get out a little bit, relax, and then look at it again. And things will... You would find out that what works for A might be not work for B. But it's the same principle of life. If you're hitting a brick wall all the time, you feel like you're not moving, you're anxious because you're feeling stuck. You're feeling like, oh my God, I'm going to die, I'm going to crumble, I don't know what to do. And then you begin to panic, and then things get worse from there. You need to step out of the whole situation at first, breathe, and then start being grateful for the little things, honestly. And then before you know it, your perspective starts to change. It sounds very psychological, but that's what worked for me. I'm in a much better place in my mind right now, and I'm doing wonderful, and I'm grateful for that. I mean, how else? We're all stuck in the house. I've been home for like 3 months. For almost 3 months. Well, 2 months plus maybe. And, I was just looking at myself, like, oh my God, I'm so grateful that I went through that mad curve early enough. Imagine having to live by myself and going through that tough time. So I'm sharing this because people look strong, they look smart, but think I was going to say shit happens in life. Yeah. Well, I just said that. And it will humble you. Honestly, it will humble you. And you will down tools. And you doubt yourself. But I'm so grateful. For more than a decade, just going after my dreams. So, reach out. That's what I'm going to say. I know I went round and round because, like I said, there's no one size fits all. But I had to write it down. Yesterday, just write the flow of thought that was going through my mind at the time, and just be able to share it.
Powerful. That was powerful. I used to tell people that most times we need to even check on people who seem the strongest, and that's why I even make it a point of duty to ask even our global speakers. I know they are global leaders; they are doing fine, but I will still ask, "How are you doing?" And I'm sure I did the same to you, where you came up on the show, because sometimes you ask even how those people who seem the strongest, how they are doing. There's a question here, but let me just give shout out to Ayomiposi Adeleye for joining. Ifeanyi Onunobu, thank you for joining. My brother Ajibola Pelemo, thank you for joining. Your support has been endless. Amokende, thank you for joining. There's a question. What about people that don't have the kind of people you have? What kind of people do you reach out to? It continues. Oh. Don't forget, we have problem with no good advice. I call them nibblers.
Yeah, wow, that's tough. First of all, let me correct the fact that I know people. Please.
You know people say, wow, you're going long.
That's a myth.
Okay.
Look, the further you go in life,
okay,
the narrower it gets. And there is just so many people you can drag with you. And I'm saying this for a fact. I'm not even bullshitting you. It's harder to keep your friends when you're just, on this rocky journey in life, and people think you're crazy for even chasing some of your dreams. So it's just hard. And then you take it as it comes. You just take life as it comes. There was a time in my life I had nobody to talk to. Now, don't forget, there were people around me, but I just didn't see them as people I could talk to. See, but that's fine.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm sharing too much. Look, and one of the reasons why I don't share often is because I feel like all these nuggets will come in handy in my memoir, in my book.
Okay.
But I'm going to share a couple of stuff with you.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I had a rule, and I say had because I think I'm bending that rule a little bit.
Okay.
Where I work, there's a certain kind of relationship I can keep where I work with the people I work. Very formal, very respectful, very fun, but that's about it. I keep my work away from my life. But I've lived in 3 cities now in the world, and as I change cities, it means my friends will change. How on earth am I supposed to maintain that kind of principle? And God was just teaching me that. Look around you. I didn't put trees around you. I put people. There must be somebody there.
Yeah, you're right.
They're just not paying attention. There is somebody there. There's somebody there.
Wow, that's powerful.
Because, first of all, God has like, I think we should send Adesewa, Angel Gabriel. She might need. We are social beings. There is somebody there. You have to just calm down, first of all, and look around. Look around. And when my hand fell, I think it was just God humbling me. Help you, babe. And I ended up reaching out to people that have been there all along. All along. And I'm so happy I did. And they were more than happy to just be like, are you crazy? We're all expatriates. We know how you feel. I'm like, you do? Yeah. We've gotten we've also been through our own fair share of what you're feeling. You are not alone. And I know that it would take a certain level of wisdom to know who is there for you, and that's for you to figure out. And you will know because you have to trust your guts. I sort of had a list in my head. I'm like, who should I call? Who can I call? And they're always there, you know. It's just that person who smiles at you all the time, who just checks on you. Like, there is somebody there. God is not wicked, please. There's somebody there.
Wow. There is
there is someone there. So I know, honestly, I understand, Wale, it's not about knowing people. And everybody I know, they're like thousands of miles away, bro. They are far away from me. The people, and guess what? The kind of healing I wanted wasn't going to happen over the phone. So I didn't want to start explaining what was going on with me over the phone. I didn't need my mom on the phone. I didn't need my sister on the phone. Neither did I need Kunle Pelemo on the phone.
Yeah.
No. Okay. I wanted to sit down in front of someone and be like, crap.
Wow.
All done. Face, sweat, makeup gone. I didn't want to say, what's wrong with you? Tell me now. Kilo share. I was just not ready for that. I was too weak. I was there, distraught, and I sat down. I was like, I wasn't saying nothing. Because, again, I was too proud, too scared to say anything. Like, I ain't telling you my stuff. This is my personal life. But just listen. But just listen. But just listen. Just watch me. That's all I want. Just watch me. You know, so there's always someone there as a point of making. Yes.
That's the point. There's always someone there.
There's always someone there. You got to look around. Look well, look hard.
Yeah, look around. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Asking for help is not a sign.
My brother, I used to think so. Like, I don't want anyone in my business.
Yeah.
Please, it's my business. It's my personal business. I can handle it. Yeah.
God
humbled me. So
we only have 5 minutes to go. 5 more minutes. Can you briefly answer Steve's question? How can we have courage in a different culture or around people who look, think, and believe differently? In just one minute.
That's a very loaded question, you know. That's a very loaded question, and I think it makes sense because when you're in another culture, what is seen as you reaching out could be you trespassing. And I think I have an idea of what Steve is saying. I lived in the United States, and there are certain parts of the U.S., even in New York, that is very liberal. You just can't walk up to people and say that you want. They're going to think you're a beggar, or I mean, it depends on where you are. But like I said, it's hard. Depending on how long you live in a society, you have to sort of figure out what channels of expression that they have that will work for you, that suits your situation, that won't make you feel like a beggar or a loser or anything. Walk up to anybody on the street, they're going to think you're a creep. So you have to plug onto some of those societies and just don't be alone. Just plug in. And then you can, like, you know, express yourself and then talk to people and stuff like that. In where I am here, it's kind of different. People are very open here. They're willing to help you. I mean, it's a closed society. They love their families. There's an extent to which you can come in. I mean, but just you can take what you can. Take what you can take and use it for your own good. So when you're in another culture, in another society, you may need to do your research. How does it work here? And then find a way to surround yourself with, you know, multiple layers of good societies and good people. It's good to surround yourself with good people. It's very important.
Thank you very much. Our time flies.
It's been a pleasure.
Now looks like a minute. You know, I'm checking time. Our time is gone.
It's fine. It's all right. It's all right. Sorry.
Questions, you know.
What?
Thank you so much. Should I wish to ask more questions, but you know.
That's fine. Yeah.
Time has gone. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you, everybody, for your questions. I hope that I answered some of them. Like I said, It's not a pill. You don't have to use my own medication for your headache. But if you think that it is something you can relate to, please go ahead and try it. I'm just also figuring out life. I always tell people that I'm enjoying my process. I'm not selling you all. And when I'm like, yeah, that hurts, I take it out again, put some, and I just, it's like, that's life. No one has it together. Don't let them lie to you. Nope. Don't believe those things you see on Instagram. Nope.
Thanks a lot, yeah. I really appreciate your presence. I appreciate every word that you've spoken right on the show. It's been wonderful.
Pleasure is all mine.
And I really want our viewers to know that 4 p.m. today we are going to have Coach AAA, and he's going to do some exclusive session with us as well. So
all right.
Then I say take good care of yourself.
I will. Thank you.
The driving force.
All right,
Thank you, Shewa. God bless you real good.
Thank you.